And a good evening to you. I got nothing but a bundle of nerves here. Everybody's scared. They wanted to come on, but now they're afraid to talk. Well, we're going to get through it anyway. I've got a special show for you this evening. We had to postpone once, and I'm glad we were able to get this together. Big Mo Peoples is a former player of mine from Bunker Hill. He's sporting the bear wear, and he's involved with an organization, and I'll let everybody introduce themselves and talk just a little bit about it. But these guys are working to help support tomorrow's adults, today's youth, and being able to try to provide an environment for them to grow their knowledge, grow their responsibility. And I'll be honest with you guys, we were talking about it before we went on the air. One of the biggest things that you do is you got to love on those kids, you know, more than anything. But Mo, I appreciate you reaching out and letting us be a part of this. And tell me just a little bit about the organization, and then I promise I won't make you talk too much.
Okay, the organization is Faith Sports. What we do is basically help kids in the community, all different walks of life. Challenge kids, high-risk kids of that nature, and be a mentor with molding them through the process. We realize that there's a whole lot of kids go do different things. We want to be that bridge to the gap when they're going through something, to be able to help them out and be able to help them make sure they succeed.
Now, what are you primarily in the Bunker Hill area? How far out do you reach from there?
No, we try to be all over. I know we are up in Tennessee, parts of Maryland, Virginia, Hickory area.
Okay.
We got a group of kids that we have coached in just about every local high school around here in this area coming through the program.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna let everybody introduce Jason. Introduce yourself and kind of what.
My name is Matt Lineberger. I'm the president of Faith Sports. I'm basically my role with the organization is to help Jason with his vision. His vision is, in a nutshell, I'll let him tell you, but in a nutshell, we want these kids to be successful in life. I think there's a lot of people and programs that help as they're younger. I think there's some programs that can help them achieve some things later on in life, but they kind of get lost in the middle school area and first part of high school. With Faith Sports, we would like to eventually be able to help them with some college recruiting and also with job training where they can enter the workforce if they're not interested in going to college.
What age groups do we start at?
We've worked with kids as young as 5 and 6 years old, and we've got kids that we've worked with that I guess now they're about 17, 18 years old. So we try to reach as many kids as we can through the Optimus programs, through the middle schools, through the high schools. But our main focus is the I guess you would say the early adolescence or early adulthood.
Mm-hmm. And pull the mic up now so we can hear you. It ain't gonna hurt you, I promise.
All right, I'm Jason Willis. I'm the founder and vision of Faith Sports. The vision of Faith Sports, like Mo said, we're trying to bridge the gap between home, school, and the community. A lot of kids get caught up in between the elementary, the middle school, and the high school transition. But not only just the high school and elementary, but they also get caught up in the community transition between rec programs and things like that. So what we came up with was we want to be able to bridge that gap completely, and for us to be, I guess, a solid point in their life from 4 to 18 up until adulthood.
Okay. And how long have you guys been around?
Well, we've been around for a while, but we've been doing Faith Sports now for, I say, 3 to 4 years.
And the website, if you need more information, is faithsports.org.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there are ways that if you'd like to donate to help, or if you maybe need some help, I'm assuming people. Do you guys get an opportunity to go like into schools and kind of get the word out that there's a place that kids can go for some extra counseling, extra guidance, extra more than anything, extra attention?
Well, we haven't got the opportunity yet, but because we're so heavily involved in the community, we, like Mo said, we deal with kids in every school almost in Catawba County from the work we do in the community. And we're trying to build those relationships with the schools, with high-risk programs or any type of program outside of the schools to where we can talk to them and let them know that we're trying to build a program for mentorship, somewhere for them to come.
Now, where are you guys based out of? Do you have an office or a place that you meet with them on a regular basis, or how does that work?
Well, at the moment, we're more virtual because we don't have an office building yet. But we're based basically out of any. Right now, I use St. Stephen's Optimist. He's used the Ducks. Mo has used sometimes the high school and things like that. So whatever platform that we're a part of, we're using those platforms to actually reach out to these kids.
Okay. Give me your background as far as, what do you do? What kind of motivated you to get into this?
Honestly, like I said, I'm just a simple man. Personally, what motivated me to get into this is some of the struggles that I had when I was younger, growing up. I wasn't always the type of person I am now with the high character, living the way that I live. At one time, I was a rebellious kid myself. And what changed me was, one, sports. I met a coach. He changed my life. That was the first thing. And he put me in a different environment, a different mindset to make me feel comfortable with releasing some of those emotions that I had bottled up. So that's why I use the sports. The second part of that is the faith aspect. Again, I am a born-again Christian. And once I decided to go that way, I changed my whole altitude of how I respond, how I act with character. And that's what put me on the path to where I am now. Working-wise, I'm just a regular worker. I drive trucks for a living at the moment. I worked with the schools. I coached with the high schools. I've been coaching in I started coaching in Maryland, coached in South Carolina, and now I'm coaching here in North Carolina. But as far as community work and dealing with kids, I've always been in the community in every place I've been. I've been more of a mentor, like you talked about earlier, showing love to the kids. I know that's the way that you have to do it, for them to be receptive to you, for them to break down and talk to you about things. You have to show them love, have to show them that you care, and then also let them know that they can trust you and believe in you.
How about you, Matt?
Yeah, I don't have the same story that Jason has. I didn't have troubles as a youth. I come from a two-parent family, had very loving parents, very supportive parents all the way through till my father passed away about 10 years ago. And Jason and I kind of met through sports. That was our connection. We have sons that are about the same age. And they kind of came together basically for like a little all-star team that Jason had put together. And he asked me to help him a little bit with it, and we've kind of connected, and I shared in his vision since then. Because I see it. The kids that we have some good kids. We have some that come from, nice backgrounds. We have some kids that come from a rough, home life. And the beautiful thing about sports in general is when those kids come together, it doesn't matter their backgrounds.
Great equalizer.
It is. And, it doesn't matter what race you are, what your family's income is. None of that matters. They just want to play together and have a good time, try to win football games, that kind of thing, and it's beautiful.
Well, when you got two totally different backgrounds as far as the way you came up, but you share a common goal, and that is to help other people. And it doesn't matter how you get there; it's that you got there, and you want to do something about it. And so, sometimes it's funny. I'm kind of like you, and I speak on behalf of the Gideons in different places, and I don't have that story of coming up through the gutter and those kind of things, because we pretty much went to church every Sunday, a two-parent family. But you don't have to have that kind of story to make an impact. It's the ability to do it, the willingness to do it, and making yourself available more than anything. And I look at it the same way. Sports is one of those things that I've always thought was a great equalizer, and it should be. And it should be sports should be a safe haven, kind of where kids can go away to escape the day-to-day stuff that really bothers them, and kind of rejuvenate a little bit, recharge. I hate the way that college sports has gotten the way that it's gotten, because it wasn't that way when I came through. It was a totally different thing. And we were talking earlier when I was doing radio in Charlotte, I had Coach Ford on. And the first question I asked him, I said, did we act like that when we were there? And I just didn't see it. And, when I went to school, I knew that everybody there was at least as good as I was. Most of them were better than I was. And if you had that opportunity to make it to the next level, that was great. But I went to school to play at Clemson, to come down the hill, to wear orange. Now that's not. And getting kids back to that thing instead of at 8 years old starting to think about their first contract in the NBA or the NFL, you got to get that out of their head and enjoy it, because you're going to miss it. If you're concentrating too much on that future, you're going to miss the present. And if you miss the present, you can't go back.
And that's something that we preach to these kids a lot. I mean, we want these kids, if they want to go to college, we want them to go to college to get an education.
Absolutely.
Because you can't take that education away from those kids once you get it.
Nope.
And you can – that's going to open all kinds of doors for them. But with that being said, a lot of these kids don't really have the college aspirations. So we're also trying to partner with some people that do job training. We need welders, plumbers, that kind of stuff too. And
it's about being successful.
Absolutely.
After you get through school, when real life starts. Yes. And we kind of have plowed that into kids' heads. As I told you, I got one finishing a doctorate. I got one finishing cosmetology school. They're both just as happy, and I'm just as proud of both of them. Right. It has no difference because they're doing something they want to do and they feel good about.
Absolutely.
And making a contribution. So it's not about all the things. It has to be what motivates you and what gives you satisfaction and pride in what you do. So, having people that they can talk to and kind of help work through that, I think it's tough being a kid now.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
I mean, they face so many more things than we did. And like Big Mo's a lot younger than I am, but it's a different world out there than what it used to be. And I feel for these kids.
Yep.
They need somebody. And the other side of it, got so many parents that are just stressed because they're just trying to make it. And they could use some help that's good help. All right, Mo, it's time for you to talk.
Okay. Well, Elmo Peoples, originally from West Virginia, moved down here to go to my high school years. Grandfather took care of me. I had a host of coaches that took care of me. You guys was like my father. Mm-hmm. Learned me a multitude of things. I was also a special ed kid. Going through those different challenges, some learning disabilities. Mm-hmm. But what I understood from my grandfather and from you guys, if you would work and apply yourself and walk the process, you would be successful. How we got hooked up with Matt and Coach Willis through sports. Mm-hmm. And we just become friends from there after. We was preaching the same thing. We preached 3.8 GPA. Nobody around right now that's preaching 3.8 GPA. But that's where we want every one of our kids and coming through our program to get through. And we want to be able to guide them from beginning to end. And when they get out of college, or when they get out of high school, whatever they choose to, they know they have somebody to come back to lean
that's
on.
Right.
That's our father figure, mentor, or whatever.
Milton, glad to hear from you. Glad you're home, buddy. One of our listeners, Milton, been in the hospital for a couple of weeks. Glad that you're back home. Let me just take a brief time out. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. At Stifel Nicholas, we're committed to offering investors personalized investment guidance. We're a full-service organization with department staffed with professionals that specialize in a wide range of investment opportunities, from the most conservative to the most aggressive. We strive to give each account, regardless of size, careful, individual attention. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times.
And welcome back. Thanks for joining in here on a Wednesday night special edition of The Bottom Line. Got some great guys here with me. We're talking a little bit about faithsports.org. Now, I saw in some of the paperwork that you guys sent me, you guys have got the first annual Yak Ball coming up. Yes. And that's going to be Sunday, May 15th, this Sunday from 3 to 6. It is ages 11 to 18. This is a fundraiser to support sports registration for 300 students. Okay, the challenge for parents, for students, for organizations, not only is time, but it's money. I mean, it's real. You've got to have it. It's going to be at Sapphire Hills Event Center. That's at 6610 NC 16 in Conover. And tickets are $7. If you'd like more information, you can go to faithsports.org. DJ, food, guest speaker. You guys are out there doing what you have to do to make sure that kids don't fail. And today's world, kids need everybody that can help. That's it's almost like there used to be a saying, and I'm going to mess this up, but it used to be something like it takes a village to raise a child, and it still does. I mean, because everybody's just spread so thin and stretched so thin. And I know that parents have to appreciate people that will step out and help, that they feel comfortable with, that they feel good about. And so this is your first one. Give us little details on what this is about and how it's going to work.
Well, again, the first thing, we're trying to raise funds for sports registrations. Like you said, that's a tough component for a lot of parents, especially today. We would like to alleviate that struggle. And if you can, we would love any type of donations to go to help towards that. The YAC actually represents our Youth Advisory Council. We're trying to present them to their peers and actually have a little end of the year party with them. So we're doing two things. We're presenting the YAC, which is our Youth Advisory Council, and we're also doing a sports registration fundraiser.
Okay.
It was another little acronym for it too. It was years after contact. Most of the kids that are on the advisory committee have been with us for 5-6 years now, I guess, and it's they're going to be the future of what we're trying to accomplish. None of the three guys sitting in front of you we're not getting any younger.
That's right.
And
got to have somebody that can help carry on.
That's it. And hopefully, we can help these kids see what kind of impact they can have in the community. And, hopefully when they get a little older and can contribute back, they'll choose to do so. And that's kind of what they're about. And as we're a little older, they also help us a lot with, what the kids will enjoy. We were talking to them about this event, and we were like, yeah, we'll get a DJ and we'll have like a dance afterwards. Oh no, we don't want to dance. Oh, and they come up with some different ideas for some entertainment for it, and I think it's going to be a really good time. Anybody that has an opportunity, please come out, and can't beat the deal. $7 for food, a couple guest speakers, and some entertainment. So please come out and see us Sunday.
The other thing that is so important about what you said is taking these younger people and getting them to buy into what you're doing by asking them what they think you should do. That helps the younger people take ownership. You know what I'm saying? Even though not following on, but just at this moment. And it makes kids feel like they really are part of it, and you really care about what their opinion is. And most of the time, they're going to come up with pretty good stuff, and they're going to do better than you are because you're not on the same wavelength as the kids that are going on today. Yep. So, getting kids to buy in to the things that you're doing is tough. And so I think that's a great way by letting them help kind of navigate what you're going to do with this, and it makes them feel like they're a real part of it.
And see, for us, that's the goal of Faith Sports. There's a lot of programs that they do the same thing we're doing, but they're not really about letting the kids initiate everything that goes on there. Mm-hmm. With Faith Sports, we will always be about the kids and for the kids. So that's the reason why we allow them to do the
you put up
do.
bumpers and guardrails and some guidelines, and you let them kind of turn them loose inside of that, and they got to have that, because they don't know what those are. So they've got to have some of those boundaries. But at the same time, you're allowing them to be a part and help set the tone for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. When you do the next one, it'll be even easier because they know that they are a part of it. They feel like they're a part of it. And, you'll have some that'll stay with you and some that won't, but that's okay. You're after making the impact that you can make while you got it.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah, because it's like I tell my kids, once you're gone, Daddy can't do it. You've got. I've always said, my wife and I, she was much stricter because I was just an old West Lincoln redneck, and she was kind of straight laced, and we had a lot of different views. And one of the things that I finally got her to understand was, even when you're talking about kids, it's not about saying you can't do this, you don't do that. It's about teaching them how to make the right decision, because there will be times when you're not there to say you can't do that or you shouldn't do that. You better hope that you built that foundation for them, that they make the right decisions for the things that they're going to face, because your mom and dad's not always going to be there. You guys aren't always going to be there when these kids are out dealing with things. So you're hoping that some of the values and teachings that you have kind of help them set their tone for what they want to do moving forward.
And if I can elaborate a little more on some of the things they came up with.
Sure.
One of the big things they loved was face painting. So we have a lady that's gonna come in. She runs Doodle Faces, and she's gonna face paint, and also she's gonna airbrush tattoos as well. And that's one of the big things the kids love. We also have a photo booth.
Yep.
We're gonna do some type of balloon racing or something like that. I don't know. They picked that part. We'll do musical chairs, and I did add a dance. We're gonna try to.
Well, if you play music, you give them the opportunity to
That's
dance.
right.
That's it.
And I'm gonna let Coach talk about it because I think you'll like this.
We have tasked our youth advisory committee in trying to do a reenactment of the 1985 Bears Super Bowl Shuffle.
Okay. Nice sports connection.
It was, and looking back on it, they're not great dancers or singers, and so I don't think that'll be a problem for our kids to do. We're going to change a few words up with it, though. Instead of we're not here to cause any trouble, we're just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle. We're going to try to go with, we're not here to cause any trouble, we're just here to do the Face Sports Shuffle. But that's one of our big things we'd like to get pulled off is a good, maybe a TikTok or.
Sure.
Try to create that relationship they have with the new social media situation.
Some people want to fight the new stuff like that because they don't like it, don't understand it. You better embrace it and understand it because that's just, that's where it's going. Here again, you give them some bumpers and guidelines to help them to do it right.
And that's a big thing that we've been pushing to these kids, especially the ones that are, in high school age. There's a lot of platforms out there. Don't hurt your future by doing things that you shouldn't be doing on social media.
Right.
And like I said, it's not going away. You can use it in the right way to help your future, but don't let it become a weight to pull you down.
Well, the thing that so many people don't understand, especially young kids, once you hit that button, there's no bringing it back.
Right.
And I don't care if you delete it, you take it down. Once it's out there, it's out there. Somebody's got it somewhere.
Yes.
So you have to be careful in the things that you do. And so, I applaud what you're doing. I admire what you're doing. There's not a lot of it and not enough of it going on. And kids need all the help that they can get. So, keep up the good work. I appreciate you guys reaching out to me to come and do. If there's anything, announcements or, future events or stuff that we can help publicize for you, I'll be happy to. I think it's a great thing that you're doing. I wish there were more that look at it, and the other side of it is so many of the community sports programs have gotten away from the community and the support thing, and it's become all sports. And you've got a lifetime for that. There's plenty of time for that.
I will say, hey, we are a co-ed organization.
Okay.
We have a group of young women.
Kids is kids.
Yeah, right. Works with them. But I know majority of times we hear a lot of feedback in the community where they just coach football. They just particularly work with boys. That's not the case with Faith Sports. We love kids, all walks of life. So
no, it's all about the kids.
Yeah. We have the infrastructure there in place and continuing to grow with the infrastructure.
Like I say, my last two were two girls, so I was surrounded by them all the time because they played sports, they played volleyball, they played softball, and so I was around those kids, and they became my kids too. That's and right. Still are. I mean, I see kids that are 22, 23 years old that's going to come up and give me a hug when they see me, because that was the kind of relationship that we built. And I just don't think you can get enough of that. I really don't.
Yeah, we've branched out into, we have an archery club that's part of Faith Sports. They're based out of the Kaiser Shelby area. They've been real successful. Went to some national meets. I think they've got a state meet this weekend. Yes. I'm pretty sure they're shooting in, but those kids have been instrumental with the youth advisory committee also. We want to be able to branch out into all the sports. But with that being said, we're a growing organization, and we need manpower and we need funding. Mm-hmm. And the more of those two things that we can get, the more good things we can do in the community.
Now, can people go to your website and just make donations? Is there a way to do that? How if somebody wanted to help out financially, how would they do it?
Yes, there's a place on faithsports.org to where donations can be made. They can reach out by email there also. If you reach out, we'll get back in touch with you. Absolutely.
I'm going to do that right here because I've got in our line of comments, I'm going to put the organization link to the website there for people to get to. And then I'll mention again in the morning, this brings up your website, brings your logo and everything else up. Again, they've got the fundraiser going on this Sunday, 3 to 6 at Sapphire Hills Event Center, 6610 NC16 in Conover. $7 tickets, ages 11 to 18. It's a great thing what you guys are doing. Again, their website, faithsports.org. This is going to help anybody in the community. And as you said, you got an archery club in Shelby. That's a long way from Claremont. I think of Mo being in Claremont and Bunker Hill and even in Hickory. You're reaching out to a lot of different people, and I think that's important that you do that. But I appreciate the work that you guys are doing and the commitment you've kind of made to the kids in the community. And we want to try. Hey, Stephen, I want to try to help you get the word out and see if you can get some support, some financial support or volunteer support. I'm assuming people can volunteer to help within the organization as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So there's if you'll go to that website, there is a contact form that you can fill out for more information, or if you've got something you'd like to add to it. And it's a worthwhile opportunity. There's one of the things, and you guys already know this from doing it, the reward that you get is immeasurable because of touching a life and then seeing where that goes. That's right. 10 years, 20 years. It's funny. I got one kid that when I was at West Lincoln played basketball. He was terrible. I mean, he was, but he was such a good kid, and I love him to death. And he knows he was terrible, but he knows I kept him because he was a good kid. Mm-hmm. And he was one of those that he got the Rudy chant when he did get into a game.
Yes.
And he had a birthday this week, and I wished him a happy birthday and told him I loved him, and he told me he loved me back. When he got married, he had heard my wife and I sing in a wedding. We sang in his wedding.
That's awesome.
And if you remember Elbert Higgins,
yes, I remember Elbert.
I was supposed to sing in his wedding. Mm-hmm. That's another Bunker Hill kid. Supposed to be in his wedding, but I was graduating from college and we had another wedding to do. So, I don't get over those. I'm sorry. That's 25 years ago, and I just, I felt like I did something right, and I know you guys are. And you're going to see this pay back tenfold as time goes on. Maybe you make a difference in a kid that wants to continue the legacy that you guys have started. That's right. That's right. So, I applaud you for what you're doing. Again, anything I can do, reach out, and I'll be glad to help you. I appreciate everybody coming in. I'll mention it again in the morning when we get on. If anybody missed this, just so you know, you can go to our YouTube channel. It's STG Sports Talk Guys, or you can go to my Facebook page. This whole video, the whole segment will be up online. You can share it. You can take a link and put a link to your website so that folks can see it. So awesome. Whatever you guys need to do. But, again, I appreciate you coming in, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Have a good evening, guys. I'll see you in the morning.